Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's Market Wrap. So I am back in Philly. I had a great weekend hanging in South Jersey, watching AAU basketball. It was great to be back at tournaments, great seeing the boys play, especially playing without masks. So this week, I had three watches that I loved. The first one is the Rolex Yacht-Master. Now this is the white gold 42 millimeter on the Oysterflex. We don't see as many of these as I thought we would. I love the size. I think it's a great summer watch, kind of under the radar, just a great feel to it. Love having that back in the collection. The second piece is another Rolex white gold. This is a 36 millimeter, the 116139. It's a rare piece. They didn't make it for more than a couple of years. It's 36 millimeter. It has this very cool tuxedo dial, black strap, just an awesome piece that you don't get to see a lot of. The last piece we're going to talk about today is a Patek 5960P, and it is my favorite variation of this annual calendar chronograph. I think it's a really overlooked watch. It's a great complication. It's a great size. Love the feel. Love that blue dial and blue strap. So the morning started early this weekend as we spent endless hours following the auctions. So Phillips, Antiquorum, Christie's, and Sotheby's all put their best pieces forward, and as expected, we did see some major moves. Now last week we discussed some of the pieces we're going to keep an eye on, so let's go back and see how they did. So Antiquorum went off on Sunday. The first lot we were watching was the 5070J, which brought 68,000. Now I thought this might go a little stronger. I thought it might touch on 75. I still think these pieces are underrated and undervalued, even in this kind of overheated market. Now, the second piece in Antiquorum was lot 389, was a 5074R. Now, this is a gorgeous perpetual calendar repeater, brought 440,000, was a very solid result. Glad to see that market coming back, bringing up strength again. Now, the most interesting results on Sunday were the longs. Now, traditionally, the secondary market was never really strong for long. It was always the complaint to the collectors that you'd really get killed in the secondary market. But they had a stainless steel Lange 1. It was one of about 30 made. Estimate was 100 to 200, which is a strong estimate already. It brought 340,000, a world record. The stainless steel Odysseus sold for 99,000. Both extraordinary results. It's great to see Lange getting that kind of attention. Now, Christie's went off on Monday now way too early. It was 4:30 a.m. Philly time. Really had to drag my butt up to get in front of the auction. Now, the first lot we were watching was lot 40. It was a Platinum 5016. Now, this is your traditional tourbillon, repeater, perpetual, beautiful Patek Philippe. Brought a great result. Now, the rose gold version, the 5016R, did even better, brought 660,000, a very strong result. Now, when we talked about it last week, I was hoping the 5016R would break that 500 mark. I did not think it would go well over 600. Another great result. Now, lots 92 to 95 we were watching was the Cartier, the CP collection. Now, over the last couple of months, we've seen a lot more interest in these Cartiers, and all three of these pieces brought over double estimate. The bargain, I think, was the Perpetual at 33,000. The Tourbillon reached 82.5, which is a super strong result for Cartiers. Now, obviously, Watchbox were big fans of Journe, so we were always watching the Journe Tourbillons. They did not disappoint. So the rose gold TN brought 165,000. The real winner of the show was the original T-Series mother of pearl dial. It brought $630,000, super strong results. We're really seeing a lot of strength in the rarity market. I think that was kind of the theme of the weekend. The most interesting results, though, was the 177 and 178, again, two Langes. These the Paula Marie tourbillons. Now, the platinum piece had an estimate of 75 to 90, sold for $550,000. This is a monster result. The rose gold black dial brought 480. What we're seeing is a major reset of the market, especially on the early Lange watches. It's something we're going to be paying close attention to over the next 6 months to a year. It's definitely a new trend we're finding. Now, the last batch was the 6 repeaters. 5 of them were perpetual repeaters. I think the 3974 black dial was a great buy. Someone was able to grab that for $385,000. The platinum version brought $930. Again, I was glad to see these strong results. I wasn't sure with so many in a row, we might see some softness, but they really kind of did really well, solid results. Now, Sotheby's had 100 pieces come up on Tuesday. The first piece we were watching was lot 49, the 15202 IP. Everybody knows the Royal Oaks, the 15202s are gone. The estimate was 70 to 100, brought $178,000. Lot 56 was an early Journe Calendar. Brass movement brought $260,000, a huge result. Again, rare pieces bringing big numbers, something we saw as a theme this weekend. The last piece I was watching was a Vacheron. I happen to love this particular jumping hour. We talked about it last week. I thought it would come close to 20. It only brought 15. The last piece that was of real interest was the 5013J, the tonneau-shaped Perpetual Calendar, Tourbillon, Minute Repeater, great piece, was an estimate of 220 to 300. I thought this could be a value buy. It didn't make low estimate, went unsold. One of the few pieces over the weekend that didn't sell through. Now, Phillips had what was probably the most closely followed auction. They had 2 days, some spectacular results. Lot 11 was an Octa subscription, one of the original 20 pieces, brought $240,000. Again, another reset of the market. So lot 56 and 57 are part of the CP collection. The first one brought $27,500, the second one $58,000. So lot 89 is the original Montepassoir. I thought this could go between 150 and 200. It actually ended up bringing 208. Lot 146 we talked about was the de Bethune piece unique. I thought it would go in the 50 plus range. It brought $165,000. Great result for this piece unique. De Bethune certainly got a little bit of attention. There was only a few of them, but they all did quite well. Lot 193, the Datograph up-down lumen, thought would be 200,000. It actually brought 220. I think everybody knows this is one of my favorite Langes. We saw a big jump. It hammered at 140 last year, so we're seeing a big escalation in those rare Langes. So what did we learn this weekend? First of all, Patek did very well. Some extraordinary results on special pieces. The Rare World Timer brought 7.7 million. The 2499 First Series hit over 2.1 million. The stainless steel 570 brought 3.6 million. These were extraordinary results. Patek showed great strength, and the sales seem to be coming back to the top. We're really seeing a lot of interest in the rare pieces, and those one-ofs broke records all over the place. Journe also did very well, and we're seeing the early brass movements, again, set new levels. Even the simple plain Journes are reaching new highs each auction that comes up. I think one of the biggest surprises I saw over the weekend was the Cartier CP collection. Again, it was a relatively small, unknown collections. We didn't see a lot of it over the last few years, but over the last year or so, we're starting to see more and more demand, and they're doing great at auction. And the last thing that I've mentioned a couple times, this was definitely a breakout for Lange. We saw the special pieces reach extraordinary levels. Now, the regular Langes still kind of traded in that same range they've always been. I think the Lange core pieces definitely represent a great value today. I think we will start to see them gain traction as the brand overall picks up momentum. So that was this week's Market Wrap. We hope to see you again next week.